discuss what is memory banking in 8086. So in 8086, total memory which is available is 1 MB, as the size of the address bus is 20 bits. So with 20 bits it can access 2 power 20 addresses, and at every memory location 1 byte can be stored. So total 2 power 20 bytes, which is 1 MB memory, is available. This we have already discussed in the previous video. Now this 1 MB memory is divided into 2 chips, and each chip is of 512 KB. How is the size 512 KB? So if I divide 1 MB, which is 2 power 20, by 2, what will I get? 2 power 19 bytes. With this I can break as 2 power 9 into 2 power 10. 2 power 9 is 512, 2 power 10 is 1K. So which is 512 KB. So this 1 MB memory is divided into 2 chips of 512 KB each in 8086. So these chips are also called as even bank and odd bank, or lower bank and higher bank. Now what is the reason behind dividing this memory into 2 chips? That we will see. So actually memory banking is a solution of a problem. So first we will understand what is the problem. So the problem is that the address bus of 8086 is 20 bits and data bus is 16 bits. 16-bit data bus means it can carry 16-bit data at a time. Now if this is the memory, there are various locations in the memory. So let's say this is location 00000, location 00001, and so on. Now if I have to store a data into the memory, let's say I have to store 3478H. This is a 16-bit hexadecimal number which I have to store into the memory. So how now this is a 16-bit data, or it's a 2-byte data. Now at one memory location I can store only 1 byte, or I can store only 8 bits, and I have to store these 2 bytes. So how it will be stored into the memory? It will be stored using a rule which says that lower byte will be stored at lower location, lower address, and higher byte, this is higher byte, which will be stored at higher address. So here 0 is lower address as compared to 1. So N78 is lower byte, so this will be stored at this address, and higher byte will be stored at the higher address. Okay, now if I want to access this data again, so now this is a 2 byte data which can come on my data bus in one go, in one cycle. But my address bus is 20 bits, means in one cycle I can give only one address, and at one address only 8 bits are stored. So if I'm accessing only 8 bit data in one cycle, only 8 bit of my data bus is used. So remaining 8 bit of the data bus is wasted. So that is the problem, to which the solution is memory banking. So now what exactly is memory banking, that we will see. Okay, so the entire memory addresses, so address range is 00000H to FFFFFH. This is divided into 2 banks. So let's assume for now that we have only 10 addresses. Then how it will be divided? So let's say this is my first chip and this is my second chip. If I have only 10 addresses, if I put address number 0 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, first half addresses in one chip, and if I put remaining half addresses in another chip. Okay, now as we have seen here that our data was stored at location 0 and 1. So I want to access both of these locations together. So if I arrange the addresses in the chips in this way, then again my address number 0 and 1, which are two consecutive addresses, they are in the same chip, so I cannot access them together. So this kind of arrangement is not possible. So then what arrangement should be done? So let's say this is my first chip and this is the second chip. So if we put addresses in this way, at location 0 here, location 1 here, location 2 here, location 3 here, location 4 here, location 5 here, and so on. Then now if I want to access location 1 and location 0 together, I can access one location from one chip. Now how to access them, that also we will see. So here you see that all the even addresses are here. So this is called as even bank. This is called as odd bank. This is also called as lower bank, and this is called as higher bank. Okay. Now we'll see how we can access two address together. So if I see the address pattern in binary, see there are 20 bits available for address in 8086. So let's say that those bits are A0, A1, A2, A3 up to A19. And if my addresses are, let's say first address is 00000H, then I have 00001H, 00002H, 00003H, and so on. If I write this address into binary, so this will be all zeros, 20 zeros. If I write this into binary, so for every digit I have to write 4-bit binary. So for this one I will be writing 0001, and then for this 0 I will be writing 40, and so on. Now for this 2 I will be writing it as this, 3 I will be writing as this. Now if I see the binary pattern of 0 and 1, then A0 bit is different, but A1 bit is same for both the addresses, A2 bit is also same, A3 bit is also same, similarly up to A19 all the bits are same. If I see next combination 2 and 3, again A0 bit is different, but A1 bit is same, A2 bit is same, A3, A4 all the other bits are same, and the same will happen in the next addresses also. So A0 bit of the address can be used to decide which chip we want to select, and A1 to A19 will be used to give the address. Okay, now we will see the block diagram. Okay, so this is my MUPI. (8086). I have A0, A1 up to A19 address pins, and my memory is divided into 2 chips. Each chip is 512 KB. This is also 512 KB. This is my lower bank and this is my higher bank. Okay, now there is a signal called CS bar, chip select signal, which is available in both the chips. So this signal, when this signal is enabled, that time that particular chip will be selected. Okay, now this A0 to A19 will be giving the address on the address bus. A1 to A19 will be giving the address on the address bus. This A0 will be used to select which chip we want. Now what is our goal? First we want to access 16 bits together. or sometimes I may want to access only lower 8 bits or sometimes only higher 8 bits. So we should be able to access only lower 8 bits, or we should be able to access only higher 8 bits. Okay, now I need 3 possibilities, but I have only 1 bit here. With 1 bit, 3 combinations are not possible, so there should be one more option available. So there's one more signal called as BHE bar, which is called as bus high enable or bank high enable. So this BHE bar is used to select the higher bank, and A0 is used to select the lower bank. Okay, now we'll see the truth table. BHE bar and A0. When both BHE bar and A0 are 0, so if BHE bar is 0, means this is active, CS bar is active low signal, so when it will get 0, this chip will be activated. So when BHE bar is 0, higher bank is enabled. Similarly, A0 is also 0, so this bank will also be enabled. So both the chips are enabled. So we'll be able to access 16-bit data. If BHE bar is 0 and A0 is 1, so A0 is 1 means this chip will not be enabled. BHE bar is 0 means this chip select signal, which is the active low signal, when it gets 0, it will be activated. So we will be able to select higher 8 bits. When we have BHE bar as 1 and A0 as 0. So when BHE bar is 1, then this chip select signal will get 1, so it will not be activated. Only A0 is 0, so this lower bank will be enabled. So we will be able to select lower 8 bits. When both of them are 1, none of the chip will be selected. Okay, now there is one more concept of aligned data and misaligned data. So if I see address 0 and 1, they are consecutive addresses, so I can access them together. Okay, now if I see address 2 and 3, 2 and 3 also are consecutive addresses, I can access them together. But if I talk about address 1 and 2, 1 and 2 are also consecutive addresses, but I cannot access them together because 1 and 2, address 1 and 2 are not in the same level in both the chips. Okay, so this type of data is called as misaligned data. And this addresses which are consecutive also and are at the same level in both the chips are called as aligned data. Okay, so we can access only aligned data as 16-bit data. We cannot access misaligned data. If we have these kind of addresses, then we have to go for 8-bit in one cycle only. Okay, so we have seen that in our in 8086 the data bus is 16 bits, address bus is 20 bit. So in one cycle, in one memory location only 8-bit data can be stored, but our data bus can carry 16-bit data in one cycle. So number of chips are 2 here. Okay, if you see the next processors like 80386, so their data bus size is 32 bits. So here again, what will be the size, what will be the number of chips? So here again, at one memory location only 8 bits can be stored. So I want total 32 bits in one go because data bus ka size is 32 bits. So 32 by 8, so here we will be having 4 chips. If I talk about any modern processor, let's say Core i7, so here data bus is 64 bits. Again, at one memory location 8 bits can be stored, so total number of chips will be 8. So this is all about memory banking. In the next video we will discuss the next feature of 8086, which is memory segmentation. Thank you.